Well, then you're driving me wild.
I had him done for the big Peterman bash I'm throwing.
Well, then you're driving me wild. I had him done for the big Peterman bash I'm throwing. Well, then you're... Now, in this situation, the L cancels the TH. Not really. Jerry does this. Well, then you're... Well, then you're... Basically, he's kind of starting a sentence with TH. And I tell my students, when you start a flow with the TH sound, the TH sound usually is really tough to hear. And we start many sentences with TH. The, there, this, that, then, those, right? It's a very common word or sound, TH, cluster, to start a sentence with. I understand this sentence starts with well, but then it stops. Well, then you're, and watch, perfect pronunciation, well, then, it should be then, but he doesn't say, well, then, he says, well, then you're, my mouth is closed. And that's typical when we start a sentence, usually our mouths are closed. We don't go, then, we don't do that. We say, then. We start speaking from a closed mouth, and that is why the TH is really difficult to hear. Then you are. Now you are, I'm going to come way over here. You are and the word your, in daily English, almost always both sound like you're. They sound the same. You're. Then you're driving. ING in daily English pronunciation has 3 pronunciations. Ing with an NG, ing, in with an N, and schwa, un. So driving, drive-in, driving. Driving, drive-in, driving. The most common sound, un. Okay? So you're going to hear that a lot. Then you're driving me. That's what Jerry says. Well, then you're driving me wild. Now, let's go here. So what's the difference between these two words? Nothing except, obviously, the D. So this word sounds exactly the same as this, but at the end, we have a D. However, did you hear a D? Many of you did not hear a D. And the reason is, it's because it's a stop D. Okay, stop sounds can be really confusing. So watch this. While, wild, while, wild. Can you hear the difference? While, very smooth ending. While, wild. You can hear me stopping. I'm actually stopping because when my tongue comes up to the D, it just stops. While, smooth, nice, wild. My tongue is touching, excuse me, I'm getting old, and it stops the air. That's a stop sound. We do it with the T and the TH, especially those two. We do it with the P, the K. We can do it with other consonants too, but especially the T, the D. Those are the most common. So wild. Well, then you're driving me wild. Well, then you're driving me wild. Well, then you're driving me wild. Proper pronunciation. Well, then you're driving me wild. Then you're driving me wild. But we don't say that. Next, I had, and we can actually hear the had. Now, sometimes we can cancel this H, and I don't know if we'll get to that rule today. Maybe not. But she says, I had, and then what does she say? Now, this is daily English pronunciation. And Americans, sometimes we just change the pronunciation of words. Them has 3 pronunciations. Them, them, and Okay, so when I do this symbol, whether it's that way or this way, it's a schwa. So them, short E, them, and it's very common to say no cancellation reason, it's just a style. So I like them. We can actually say I like them. I like them. The K is not a strong sound. The TH is weak, but the K is not, so there's no cancellation rule. No, it's them. Possible pronunciation is So I like them. Now, wait a minute. I like him and I like them can sound the same. I like them. I like them. So how do we know the difference? Context, the situation. That's the only way. They sound the same. Okay? Elaine, in this case, said, I had him. I had him. I had him done. I had him done. And by the way, this is your EVC word, done. Okay, we'll talk about EVC. If you're in the challenge, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I had him done for the TH is there. It's really fast. And just like this word too, for, it's going to sound like fur. I had him. I had him done for the big Peterman bash. For the big, and it's kind of a stop G. You can hear it a little bit. For the big Peterman bash. Throwing. Okay? And she does say throwing. I think she said, does she say throwing? She could say throwing with an un. But I think she said throwing. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. And this is also your EVC word, throwing. Okay, so be careful with that. So that sentence again. I had him done for the big Peterman bash. I'm throwing. Next. Elaine says, revulsion, making people sick, making people hate you, has now become a valid form of attraction. Making people hate you is an okay method to seduce people. Yeah, obviously she's joking. It's not true. It's just a joke. But think about it. Remember back in elementary school or grade school when, little boys and little girls. And do you remember when a little boy likes a girl, he tends to hit her or pull her hair? Yeah, and then the girl hates him. I guess it's the idea of the bad boy and the girls are attracted to the bad boys. So Elaine is basically saying that. She's a bad girl. She's got ugly fingernails. And that actually is a way to seduce men. It's a joke. But Jerry says, well, then you're driving me wild. You're making me go crazy. I love you. He's teasing her. Elaine says, I had them done. Now, this is part of our EVC. I had them done. I had my nails painted. I had my nails manicured. I went to a salon and somebody painted my nails. They did my nails. Why? For a special occasion. What occasion? A party. Another word for a party is a bash. So a party can be a children's party, an adult party, a wedding party, any kind of party. A bash is a little bit more active. Maybe there's live music, alcohol, this idea. And it's a big Peterman bash. Now, Elaine is the temporary boss of a company called J. Peterman. I have a J. Peterman catalog right here. It really is a company. You see that J. Peterman? And it's a clothing company, and they sell clothes and bags and stuff like that. And yeah, it's actually pretty nice stuff. So Elaine's the boss. Peterman, the owner, he's gone. He's someplace else.
Well, then you're driving me wild.
I had him done for the big Peterman bash I'm throwing.
Well, then you're driving me wild.
I had him done for the big Peterman bash I'm throwing.